What makes a good Iron Man performance? Well, ideally, they should be conventionally handsome, ideally with a slightly dark past to reflect the character's own demons, look good in both a tailored suit and CGI suit. They should be able to do a lot of good close-up face acting, a lot of shots from inside the helmet, and yeah, I'm bored of this bit too. A Royal Rumble Iron Man is a yearly tradition. Someone who sticks around from the start of the Rumble and lasts roughly until the very end. Someone around whom you can build a bunch of spots, someone who provides the match with a spine, a sense of structure or identity. And Iron Man won't always win the match, but it's definitely a role only given to a select trusted few, someone the company believes can carry the biggest match of the year on their back. I'm Adam, hailing from partsFUNknown, and here are 10 greatest Iron Man performances in Royal Rumble history. And while you're here, if you'd like to keep up with our very stupid wrestling content like Survival Series, some more of these lists, my booking videos, make sure you subscribe to partsFUNknown and you turn on your notifications. It really matters. It really does. So, new year, new you, new sub. Number 10, Shawn Michaels, 1995. I mean, this immediately feels like it's breaking the rules of this video. After all, in almost any other Rumble, an Iron Man is defined by lasting about an hour in the ring. That's what Iron Man means in a wrestling sense, and everyone else on this list clocks in around that 50-minute to an hour mark, with a capital mark, because it's wrestling reference. Shawn Michaels' run in the 1995 Royal Rumble was 38 minutes long. This is because WWE, perhaps they were concerned about someone going from number one all the way to the end for the very first time, changed the Rumble format so that someone entered the match every 60 seconds. Every f***ing minute. Jesus Christ. Still, even though it's a horribly rushed Rumble and the Rumble contained the Harris brothers who were literal Nazis, it's still an iconic performance from HBK here, one synonymous with heroic endurance, overcoming the odds, an Herculean task, which is what Iron Man performances are supposed to be, even in a wet fart Rumble match. Number 9, Sasha Banks, 2018. Of course, it had to be Sasha. The woman now known as Mercedes Moné and currently blue-balling AEW fans did everything first for women in WWE in the 2010s. First NXT main event, first Iron Woman match, first Hell in a Cell, first pay-per-view main event. So naturally, when it came time for the first ever Women's Rumble, Sasha came out first and was the first Iron Woman in Rumble history. Of course she was. Made a lot of the Rumble seem more cohesive too. The first Women's Rumble was a bit scattershot, not enough main roster women to fill it out, a lot of nostalgia returns, but Sasha's hour-long run throughout kept things grounded, mixing it up with pretty much everyone who stepped through the curtain. Helps that Sasha's so good, she's a dream match machine as well. Sasha versus Lita, check. Sasha versus Trish, check. Seeing your old favorites fight with your new favorite just kept the hype machine rolling throughout the Women's Rumble 2018 and speaks to why an Iron Man performance is so important. They keep things from falling apart. Number 8, Chris Benoit, 2004. The redacted Rumble is fairly underrated. There's a few lovely little bits in it that you'll never see in a Rumble recap package. The Randy Orton, Mick Foley stuff, the Goldberg stuff. And the reason why you won't see it is because there's a chance you'll catch the number one entrant in the background. Iron Man and Rumble match winner, Chris Benoit. Honestly, the performance completely makes the Rumble as well. Benoit has the most eliminations throughout. His cardio's insane, so he's always around to get involved in spots. His performance is the beating heart of the whole thing, and if you remove it, the Rumble would have been nowhere near as good as it was. Just considering everything, it's a hard thing to go back and re-watch. Knowing that the hell that Chris Benoit would regularly put his body and brain through was such a contributing factor to what ended up happening. Objectively, though, it is a standard-bearer Iron Man performance. Number 7, Chris Jericho, 2013, 2016, and 2017. 3 years. 3 separate goddamn years Chris Jericho's turned in an Iron Man performance at the Rumble. Bloody hell, he did it in back-to-back years in 2016 and 2017. In 2013, Chris Jericho came in number 2 and lasted for 47 minutes alongside co-Iron Man Dolph Ziggler. In 2016, he entered number 6 and lasted 50 minutes. In 2017, he entered number 2 and lasted over 1 hour. Bloody hell, Chris. You're not here for a good time, you're here for a long time. He may never have won a Rumble in his WWE career, which is bonkers, considering he had an actual WWE title match at WrestleMania in 2012, but he does at least have one record to his name: longest total time in the ring at almost 5 hours ring time across 11 Royal Rumble matches. That's silly, Chris Jericho. Why are you so silly? Did Fozzy drive you insane? I'm guessing they did by the tattoos you've chosen to get. Number 6, Edge and Bianca Belair, 2021. God, the 2021 Rumbles were weird. Like, neither of them were bad from an objective standpoint. As Rumbles, they were both structured fine, were stacked with talent, had lots of fun moments, love you forever Christian, but also took place in the Thunderdome, which is to the enjoyment of a wrestling match as a mousetrap is to the enjoyment moment of a christening. It's weird, certainly interesting, but ultimately puts a dampener on things. Also, a bit of a weird thing about 2021, both Rumbles were won by the person putting in the Iron Man performance. Odd bit of double booking there. Bianca Belair won it from number 3, clocking in 57 minutes. Edge won it from number 1, clocking in at 58 minutes. A star-making turn for Bianca, and a you still got it turn for Edge, although it is worth pointing out that Bianca's hair looked a lot better than Edge's by the end of the Rumble. Bloody hell. 2 really impressive performances in a pair of impressive Rumbles that would be much more beloved in fan memory if it wasn't for that stupid bloody plague. Number 5, Rey Mysterio, 2006. It is very funny that everyone constantly talks about Rey Mysterio's admittedly very good indeed performance in the 2006 Royal Rumble lasting 1 hour and 2 minutes, and everyone ignores it in the same Rumble Triple H lasts 1 hour, even eliminating 6 dudes, same as Ray. But no, Mysterio got the record and the acclaim, and that is objectively hilarious considering Triple H and that whole ruthless aggression, reign of terror. Regardless of that, fun fact, this is a brilliant showcase for Rey Mysterio. Like Shawn Michaels and Chris Benoit before him, exactly the kind of performance needed to cement a wrestler's promotion from the upper mid-card to the main event scene. Rey Mysterio is the heart and soul of this year's Rumble, with extra emotional weight owing to him dedicating the match to the recently passed Eddie Guerrero. His time in the ring was record-setting and for over a decade stood as the longest individual time in a Royal Rumble. That is until number 4, Daniel Bryan, greatest Royal Rumble. Look, if Tempest is going to count it on Survival Series, and hey, you should watch that video, by the way, it's bloody brilliant, then I have to count it here. The greatest Royal Rumble, aka when the Saudi royal family bought themselves a Rumble and tricked it out with 20 extra wrestlers. That's exactly what makes a Royal Rumble great. It's how many more mid-carders and Hiroki Sumis you can cram into the Honestly, the Rumble is fairly crap, but there is no denying that a certain furry friend goes above and beyond to try and make the whole thing work, with Daniel Bryan entering at number 1 and being in the Rumble for 1 hour and 16 minutes. Fucking hell. And he left half his rib cage in the ring, quite literally bloody hell Daniel. Like Y2J, Bryan has criminally never won a Rumble, but at least has a record to his name, because I don't think anyone's breaking this one anytime soon. At some point, quantity has a certain quality of its very own, and it may be a tainted Rumble with a capital taint, but what a superhero performance from the best to ever do it. 1 hour and 16 minutes. That's too long. Number 3, Steve Austin, 1997. One of the best things about the Royal Rumble is it gives people a chance to make a name for themselves, a statement, a chance for WWE to say to its fans, hey, we're pretty sure this is the guy. Thoughts? Sometimes when that guy is Roman Reigns, the response is a polite off and die, but in 1997 when it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, the fans responded, yes, that'll do nicely. Austin's star had been rising for a while in 96 with a Stone Cold persona, an excellent match at Survivor Series against Bret Hart, but the 97 Rumble is what truly made him, and he bloody worked for it too. He arrived at number 5, lasted 45 minutes, eliminated 10 people, tying Hogan's record at the time, but most importantly, there were multiple points throughout the match where Austin eliminated the entire field and was left alone in the ring. A pure and perfect spotlight on him, with WWE screaming in all caps, this is the guy. The whole Austin sitting on the turnbuckle looking at his watch gimmick was brilliant, and brought back 5 years later almost to the day with Austin's performance in the 2002 Rumble. Number 2, Ric Flair, 1992. God, the 92 Rumble's good. That's really good though, in a way that you imagine it might not be, considering, it's old and that, but no, watch it again, it still humps. One of the big reasons why is because of the stakes in the match. The WWE Championship is on the line for the first time ever, and as such, the field of competitors is potentially the most stacked it's ever been. Flair, Hogan, Justice, Undertaker, DiBiase, Piper, Roberts, any of these guys could have conceivably walked out with the title, but of course, it had to be Flair. How else were we going to get Hogan versus Flair at WrestleMania 8? Oh, wait a minute. It's an absolutely iconic Rumble performance from so many angles. First time an Iron Man had won it, lasting over an hour as well. The whole not fair to Flair narrative being constantly pushed by Bobby Heenan, having an all-time great showing on commentary, the post-match promo. It feels like the whole match was built around Flair because it was, which combined with the unique stakes, technically probably makes it the best Iron Man performance in Rumble history. It's just not my favorite. That would be number 1, Kane, 2001. Yeah. I mean, it's my favorite Royal Rumble. The first time I properly stayed up late to record it, then run home from school the next day to watch it without knowing who'd win. Magical little Rumble for me. And this match is one of the reasons that I loved Kane so much. What a showcase for the Big Red Machine. Arrives in an all-time great comedy spot that in no way diminishes Kane's aura. Got the Hardcore Championship segment. Kane and clears the whole ring. Honky Tonk Man comedy spot. Amazing. Kane versus The Rock. Undertaker arrives and the Brothers of Destruction clear the ring again. Poor Scotty. Then Kane's part of the final two. The entire time he is in the Rumble, all 53 minutes, he has just built up and up as this unstoppable final boss, setting an elimination record that would stand for over a decade. WWE like to hype up their supernatural monsters with a lot of smoke and mirrors, but in the 2001 Royal Rumble, they truly made one right there, right in front of our eyes, and it was beautiful. Rumble, Rumble Man, I want to be a Rumble Man. Look, everyone forget last year. The Rumble's the best time of the wrestling calendar year. And why do we love it so much? For all the lovely surprises. Returns from injury, calls up from NXT, beloved nostalgia pops, all the fun of the fair. Anyway, shut the hell